Hello, everybody that's watching this. Hasn't been the greatest sequence of days. I mean, definitely hasn't been my worst, but it hasn't been the greatest. Um, I, I'm really just, I guess, making this as a journal, so this is my first entry, and then I guess I'll get more personal as the days go by. I don't know, I've tried to chase some form of artistic expression, but I realize that you can't really chase that. What I mean is, like, you can't put yourself into a box that makes you something that you're not. You'll never be able to just become something else so easily. For some reason, this feels really stupid to make in the first place. I don't know why. As far as life goes, I mean, life is good. When I say that, I just mean like financially, I guess. But there's this heaviness that sits on my heart that I can't seem to shake. So yeah. Yeah, I tried making music that didn't really work. I just feel like hopeless to a higher degree than I ever have felt hopeless. And I'm tired of hearing like comparisons from people, like, oh, my shit that I'm in is worse than your shit that you're in, or you've never faced like real hardship. Like, I don't want to hear that, man. Like, I don't. It's just the same thing over and over, because I don't see myself as a person who's very good at articulating their feelings or like how they feel about shit. So yeah, it just the collective's solutions to things is not the answer. I've realized it's not the answer. So yeah, I don't know, it feels odd. Being up at this time and talking. I've been having really weird dreams lately too. Had a dream not too long ago. It lasted about an hour and 40 minutes of the same thing. That never happens. An hour and 40 minutes of the same thing. Like a story, like a movie, across the span of about an hour and 40 minutes. And I woke up, and the person that I was I don't know how to explain it. Like the person that I was had just like what do they do after dreams? Like, do they just leave? You know, these characters, these people, do they leave? Do they die? Do they stay? I've had a lot of dreams where people have come back. You know, the same version of that person was in the dream 5 years later. That wasn't the case here. You know, these were all new people. I never dreamed about these people. I was a different person in the dream. Totally. It's just crazy. And I felt like I had missed something from that dream because I've been trying to write like a film, like a movie, and I just haven't gotten there yet. I hope that I do. But this dream was like the perfect movie, and it hadn't been made yet. It was perfect. And it didn't matter because at the end of the day, I don't know, I just feel like nothing matters. I feel like there's something greater that's gonna happen in my life that's just gonna fix things. You know, that's just gonna settle things. One way or another. Give me a second. Now, whatever this thing is, and I hope that y'all turned y'all's volume down or something like that. That's probably loud. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like some form of transcendence. Just a brand new version of me that I'm waiting on because I'm not satisfied with who I am right now. So, I wish I could be somebody else. Because I don't want to be myself. Why don't I want to be myself? Because I'm just like, I don't know, I just feel like a terrible person. Why do I feel like a terrible person? I don't know how to. This is like really bad. Maybe a psychologist would see this and be like, this is terrible. But it's just normal. You know, it's a normal string of thoughts of just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And when I go to work, like everything kind of zones out for like 10 hours, and then I'm back home and I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? What am I doing? I just keep asking that question. And some would say like, that's good. Like, no, it's not. Depending on how you see things, but to me, it's not. It's not good. It's not good to keep fucking asking that question over and over and over and over because it feels like pressure. It doesn't feel like I have 10 different answers for it, or 5 different answers for it, or 1 different answer for that question. I genuinely don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So you got all this different advice that's getting thrown at you, and then, like, but what the fuck do you do? Because there's a solution that is just for you. It's only for you. there's a solution that is yours, that will be captured at some point and enacted at some point. But for now, I mean, who knows? As far as music goes, the only reason to make anything is to make it. I've realized, like, seeking this approval from others, it's just not gonna do me any good. You can't please everybody, and everybody's always gonna want something else. Like, there's always gonna be something else that somebody wants, and it's like, okay, I can please people. That's not the way to carry yourself on the inside. You know, that's not, oh, let me make sure I'm pleasing this person and pleasing this person and no. Fuck that. That just, like, puts you in a deeper hole. And when you're in this hole, are you aware of your light enough to the point where you can see how deep you are in your darkness? Like, when you're looking up from rock bottom, can you see enough of your light to know that there's so much more of it, to the point where that motivates you to crawl yourself out of this area of darkness to that light that you're looking up at? Are you aware of it? Because if you're not, you got a problem. Because you do have light. Yeah. If you're not aware of it, you may have a problem. But man, things will pass and settle down at some point. At some point. Just strength is strength is built under time, under tension. Strength is built under tension. Strength needs time to be built. You gotta be under tension for a certain amount of time, over and over and over and over and over again. But it gets frustrating because this strength that I want, right? So this strength that I want, that I've wanted my whole life, so I wouldn't be weak anymore, for whatever reason. This strength, why do I need it? So this strength that I'm looking at is, first off, nothing compared to the strength that I already have. And then that's confusing, because do I have enough strength to recognize my own strength? You know, like, there's just confusion, piled on confusion, piled on confusion, piled on confusion. More confusion. And then, like, you don't have to defend something that's not being attacked, so what is the answer? Do I need to put my faith into something? Do I need to be rescued by something? Do I need to chase enlightenment? Do I need to die? I mean, what do I need to do to see time all at once so that I can know that what's happening right now is for a reason? Is that gonna diminish the value of time when I see the future? Or not diminish the value of time, but diminish the value of my strength when I see the future? Would that diminish the value of my strength? Would that diminish the value of just what I want? And I think yes. The journey means so much more. But I just have to keep fucking going and keep going and keep going and keep going until what? Because it all fluctuates, you know. I'll be angry for a year and then I won't be angry for a year. Then I'll be angry for a year. For what? Then I'll be sad. I've kind of always been sad. But then I'll just be angry for a year. And not angry. And angry. And not angry. Like, will I ever just feel like I'm one person? I remember my friend told me that. Will I ever just feel like one person? At some point, whatever that is, you keep waiting for what? Then you ask yourself, well, why can't it be right now? Why can't my moment of release, freedom, peace, abundance, motivation, triumph, strength, why can't it come right now? Who knows? Who knows anything? You know, I'm getting to a point where I'm really just tired of speaking on anything. Because I don't know anything. Who wears the prettiest mask? Who wears the prettiest mask? Who wears the most attractive list of fuck-ups stringing down their body, written all over them? Who? Because apparently it is the person who has none, who has no fuck-ups. Everybody has fuck-ups. Everybody fucks up. So, yeah. There's no point to anything. Maybe I'll trick myself into thinking that there is, but I'm gonna die one day. The thing about a legacy is when you leave your legacy behind, those people die one day, and the people after that die. And eventually your bloodline is going to fall, and no one will remember it. So what do you, at some point, what what is the point? All is like just pride. Just I want that person to remember me. You act as if your remembrances, how many people remember you is the scale of your value, of the value of the time that you spent. You act as if how many people remember you. That number dictates the value of the time that you spent here on Earth. As if your time doesn't already have value. As if it can't just, the value can't just be. You can't just be. There has to be something to it. Why does that have to be the case? Because we live in a world where that has to be the case. And you hope, well, hey, like it's not always gonna be the case. Right? No, it will be like that until you die. How could one possibly just be in this world? I was talking to my father. And he said, I don't want to die on the street. That's my worst fear, is dying on the street, dying while homeless. You know how many things, how many principalities and workers of darkness would want to see people down, suffering, and then dying, but then making others suffer before they die. Not only that, how many people, I remember Kendrick Lamar said this, why do you want to see a good man with a broken heart? Why do we all want to see each other just suffer in some way, shape, or form, and we won't address that within ourselves? We won't say that is a part of me. That is what I am. The good things that I want to do for people, the bad things I want to do to people, that is all who I am. Integration of the shadow. Why? Why do we ignore ourselves? And we wonder why we ignore other people, and then we wonder why these waves of inner responsibility judge us while we already work in turmoil and despair. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep.